when we're done.
Get
so
down.
I can turn back all of my stuff. Any volunteers?
Bang, bang.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? How we doing? My name is Hero. This is Coding with Strangers, and I want to say I told you so. Well, not yet, but soon. It's coming. Not based on anything I know, based on what I read on this article. Okay, there's no real proof at all. But have you had this growing feeling, maybe in the back of your neck, or somewhere between the part where your balls and your ass meet? It's called the Holy Seal. It's where God stitched you up. And when these people screaming from the top of the mountains, AI is here to stay, is going to replace you, there's no hope for you, stop coding. How's Devin, by the way?
Beta!
Anybody heard from Devin? We need to check on him. Either we send him flowers or we sending somebody to go check on him, because the flowers are for his funeral or it's for his mother or something. We need to check on Devin. But it became painfully clear to me that something was amiss when people who got their start in programming started saying stuff like programmers should stop programming. And I know there's some people in my comment section in my chat who are going to say, Hero, the revolution is here, my brother in code. I need you to understand me. I don't want to be a doomer. I get it. But some of y'all are sipping that copium Kool-Aid so goddamn hard. I know mother lovers on Booty Talk 34 that wasn't fit to the top. Get off. Get off. But it's led me to believe that when someone is telling you to look over here, you should keep looking directly at what they're doing, because they're up to something. Of course, NVIDIA's CEO wants programmers to stop programming so their chips can be bought to make programmers on the web. Of course, Apple wants everybody to buy their new phone because they just spent all this money investing in NPUs and OpenAI. So when we can no longer rely on the facts of the matter from business funds because they are incentivized to keep us in the bubble, who do we lean on? How do we assess this? And a telltale sign, if you ever want to know how the economy's doing, is to ask a stripper. If strippers are getting tipped out really nice on a Tuesday night, when coming to the stage, 3 bullet wounds and stretch marks off of Crenshaw and Get Right Avenue is making good money on a Tuesday, it's a good sign that there's some popping things happening in the economy. But when strippers can't even make top dollar on a Friday night, 3 bachelor parties deep, mistakes have been made in the algorithm. And maybe we need to look at some things to help straighten it out. So I found this article. I didn't read it yet. It's from a dude named Michael Nagel. Will Daniels wrote this. It was brought out today, straight off the press. I like bringing you guys new shit. It was brought out yesterday. The topic in question is AI is effectively useless, and it created a fake it till you make it bubble. I know a lot about that. As a person who's lied on their resume, this resonates with me. Maybe I might like this article. That could end in disaster. Veteran market watchers warn. A bunch of veterans always talking about some bullshit. All right, let's find out. There's no avoiding the hype surrounding AI these days. Promise of a new development like personal robot assistants and miracle cancer cures are ubiquitous, and executives take every opportunity to emphasize their AI chops to enthusiastic investors and the slightly less enthusiastic consumer. I'm in the latter camp. Not everyone has been blown away by the AI fanfare. However, James Ferguson, founding partner of the UK-based macroeconomics research firm MacroStrategy Partnership, fears investors' AI exuberance has concentrated market bubble that reminisce the dot-com bubble. Okay. This dude is, whenever the nerds feel like lashing out, I become a little bit apprehensive because there's an AI algorithm being built right now to replace you. So how do I know that you're keeping it real with me, bro? How do I know you're keeping it real with me? So, but to say something is going to be as atrocious as the .com era, that's interesting. This historically ends badly. Ferguson told Bloomberg. Somerset Webb is the latest episode of Mary Talks Money podcast. Oh, free plug. So anyone who's sort of a bit of a long in the tooth and has seen this sort of thing before is tempted to believe it will end badly. The veteran analysts argue that the hallucinations, large language models, tendency to invent facts, sources, and more may prove to be more intractable problem than initially anticipated, leading to AI to have far fewer viable applications. AI still remains, I would argue, completely unproven. Damn. Is that a fair assessment? That AI has largely remained unproven. Has AI actually solved something that any of us? I feel like it has, but it isn't true AI. It is just better. It's better optimized search. I think giving ocular ability to computers has significantly increased it from a medical standpoint and just the VR. But there's a reason why I can't do surgery from home, right? Because we don't have a means of getting the finite optimizations of it. And that's a great concept. Has it solved any real problems? AI still remains, I would argue, useless. Ferguson also noted AI may end up being too energy hungry. I've been talking about this for years. Fun fact, this video is my most popular video I've ever made on YouTube. This is the second one. It talks about me. It talks about the neediness of electricity on power, but we also did a counter art video on that about it comes in ebbs and flows, but that's not enough to satisfy or quench my desire. I think, especially like in hurricane season in Houston right now, if you built a data center in Houston, in the Houston area, after a hurricane, are they going to shut down the data center to give power to the people, or is Microsoft going to want to keep making their money? To be a cost-effective tool for many businesses. To his point, a recent study from Amsterdam School of Business and Economics found that AI applications alone could use much more power as the Netherlands by 2027. Forget NVIDIA charging more and more for its chips. You also have to pay more and more to run those chips on your servers. And therefore, you end up with something that is very expensive and has yet to prove anywhere really outside of some narrow applications that is paying for itself. Shit. Leaning into the AI enthusiast, Ferguson warned that excessive tech hype based on questionable promises is very similar to the period before the dot-com crash. He noted that during both of these periods, markets return were concentrated in tech stocks and that traded based on Wall Street sky-high earnings growth estimates. But despite those lofty forecasts, the dominant hardware giant of the dot-com, Cisco and Intel, have largely disappointed the investors ever since. Ferguson argued today AI's hardware hero, NVIDIA, might experience a similar fate, particularly given its evaluation. Okay, so there's a part of me that feels like he's using his expertise. He's been in the industry. That's how it works. He has expertise, but you can't tell me that this dude isn't. If we look at this dude's stock portfolio, you can't tell me that this dude isn't invested in NVIDIA. And if he's not invested in NVIDIA, I would write an article like this to kind of be like, Nvidia's not that big of a shit. Are you invested? No. Well, you sound like a fucking hater, bro. You're
Beta.
You sound like you're a hater. And this is me being critical of the article. I'm not judging the writing of it. I'm just being critical. I'm being the devil's advocate. But at the same time, money talks, bullshit walks. And if we know anything about Microsoft, they want to see a return on their investment. A lot of y'all that got the Xbox Game Pass, y'all saw that $3 hike. That wasn't on accident. They need the return on their money. They want the return on that money. You feel me? So there's going to be, they need to see something. Despite his argument that AI-linked tech stocks like Nvidia are highly overvalued, Ferguson admitted that no one can predict when a bubble will end. Okay, Ferguson. I was ready to say Ferguson's a motherfucker who'd be like, get off my lawn, but I think we fuck with Ferguson. Highly overvalued, admitted no one can predict the bubble, and this dynamic leads many bearish investors to feel compelled to play in the market even when the stock looks pricey, according to the analyst. And that's a great way to get hurt. Yeah, if you feel like there's a FOMO, you missed the opportunity, and you buy Nvidia at like $4,000 and then it pops, it really would hurt a lot of investors. There's a lot of value to be found in the U.S. The trouble is that is it that value? It is to be found in a good old-fashioned way, trawling through small caps and looking for businesses that are growing in a good old-fashioned steady way, he said. Yeah, this is some old man shit. I want to be rich today. I want to be rich for the next 10 years. I could be poor after that. But I think this is a good article. I'll post about it. I'll have the link and all that stuff in there. But, you know, needless to say, I think I've kind of scattered throughout. I am still of the highest belief that large language models have yet to prove the bulk of it. But then great advances in technology don't come without sacrifice. So we do need to see a certain level of sacrifice. But at what point do we decide that this is enough? Remember, nothing goes linear. It's always down, ebbs, flows, plateaus, and it stays stagnant for years. As our processing ability gets closer to the speed of light, pretty soon the efficiencies of computers will become less recognizable, and we'll have to do some like pseudo full 100%, 110% by optimizing. So I'm very interested to see where this goes. I can only benefit from the growth of this technology as a person who is invested in Nvidia, 16 shares. I can only hope for the best, but I don't think it's ridiculous to question the optimization or the capabilities of a technology that's been out for 2 years. I can still trick ChatGPT into believing 2 + 2 is 5. I can still trick it into believing that there are 4 R's in strawberries. Are there 4 R's in strawberries? Whatever a bad answer is for that answer, I can still make it believe that that isn't true. I can still make ChatGPT believe that that the 10 Commandments are part of our U.S. Constitution. So now we're at this crossroad, and I'm interested to know what you guys think. These type of articles really get me thinking. I enjoy taking a dive into the good and the bad of both fields. I think you should do it. It helps you build on critical thinking skills and things of that nature. But let me know what y'all think. Clap it. I appreciate you guys liking, sharing, subscribing. That's the best way to help me. We're so close to partnership. Watch 5 minutes of this. Well, if you made it this far, you watched 5 minutes of it. Thank you.